Good morning, Southcrest family. Today is Good Friday, the fifth day of our Holy Week devotional series. As we reflect on the death of Jesus, we take time to consider the events that led up to it, specifically his trial before Pilate. Imagine this scene. A restless crowd fills the courtyard, stirred up by religious leaders. Tensions are high. Pilate, the Roman governor, stands uneasy as the people demand a verdict. Jesus, beaten, mocked, stands silently, bloodied but dignified. And in the midst of it all, Pilate asks the question that echoes across time in Matthew 27, "What shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ?" The question wasn't just for the crowd. It's a question each of us has to answer. And the weight of it matters because Jesus didn't just suffer. He truly died. The death of Jesus is not a myth or a metaphor. It's a historical fact. Tacitus, one of Rome's greatest historians, recorded that Christ was crucified, executed by Pontius Pilate. Even critics of Christianity, like Lucian, confirmed that the early Christians worshipped a crucified man. Roman execution was brutal and final. Jesus didn't survive it. He didn't fake it. He bore the full weight of death for us. And before that death came a choice. Pilate presented two people and two options: Jesus or Barabbas. Barabbas wasn't just a common thief. He was a political warrior, a revolutionary. He stood for a worldview we still see today, that the real problems in life are external. The government, the culture, the system. If we fix that, life gets better. But that's not the whole story. Barabbas represents the mindset that says sin is out there somewhere, not in me. When the crowd chose Barabbas, they weren't just choosing a man. They were choosing to deflect, to avoid the real issue of the heart. But Jesus didn't come to just fix our surroundings. He came to transform our souls. At the cross, God didn't overlook our sin. He confronted it head on. He didn't just punish us. He took our place. Romans 5:8 tells us, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. The cross is the intersection of justice and mercy. It shows us how seriously God takes sin and how deeply he loves us. Lastly, even in the chaos of the trial, God's sovereignty was at work. What the crowd meant for evil, God meant for our good. In Genesis 50, verse 20, Joseph tells his brothers who sold him into slavery, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." And as the crowd demanded Barabbas to be released, the guilty was set free while the innocent was condemned. Just like us, we are Barabbas, the guilty party, and yet Jesus took our place. As they shouted at Pilate that the beating wasn't enough, as the crowd insisted that Jesus be put to death, heaven answered. God, our Father, shouted with a cry from heaven, beating him. Works are not enough. He must die so that we can live. This wasn't a moment out of control. It was a moment perfectly in the hands of Almighty God. So today, on Good Friday, the question still stands. What will you do with Jesus? Like Pilate, you can't wash your hands of it. You can't stay neutral. You either submit to him or walk away. The good news is, God has already made his move. He sent his son, who died in your place and rose again to give you new life. Now it's your turn. Will you keep choosing Barabbas, the easy answers, the blame shifting, the external distractions? Or will you choose Jesus, the only one who can truly set you